Hey everybody, let's take 5 minutes out of our day and meditate on God's Word together. Have you ever felt excluded? Have you ever excluded someone else? Is there some felt deficiency within you that blocks you from being a part of the crowd? Jesus shows us His kingdom in action by teaching us there is no them, just us in His kingdom. In Matthew 8 verse 1, we're told, when He came down from the mountain, great crowds followed Him. And behold, a leper came to Him and knelt before Him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out His hand and touched him, saying, I will be clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said to him, see that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priests and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a proof to them. Now, leprosy was a term that was used to describe a variety of skin diseases. It was highly contagious. Lepers were excluded from society, not just Judaism, but many ancient societies excluded them. Lepers would often have to be outside the city gates and loudly proclaiming that they are leprous and that no one can come near them. They felt that if you got in the vicinity of someone who's a leper, that may infect you somehow. So spiritually speaking, leprosy in their worldview, lepers embodied the self-destructive nature of sin. They in their bodies showed the consequences of sin. Sin disconnects you from God. Sin disconnects you from other people. It puts us into these categories and isolates us, where we have classifications of people, and it's based on our perceived value of ourselves and other people. Jesus turns all of that on its head. Both the consequences of sin in one's own body and one's own heart, but also the consequences of sin socially that lepers experienced. And there are two things here that I saw that Jesus clearly shows He's turning this on its head. First, it says, actually, this is what Jesus does second, but I'll say it first. He says, I will be clean. Now, the leper had asked Him, if you will, you can make me clean. Like, if you want, Lord, if you want to, I know that you're able to do this. All you have to do is want it and say it, and it'll happen. And Jesus said, I will. I mean, that tells us He wants to heal. Jesus wants to reconcile. Jesus wants to forgive. Jesus wants His own reconciliation with His creation. But not just that, He wants all of this gone for this man. He wants His own reconciliation with His community, with His family. He wants that closeness and intimacy. The question is, do we want it too? Do we desire that? Maybe our false self likes the categories and likes the pecking orders, and so is over here and I'm over here and I'm on the end, they're kind of on the out, and we like these social structures that we make for ourselves. There are those over there and there's us. It's us versus them. Well, it takes humility to undo this. The man knelt down before Jesus. We bow our hearts to Jesus and recognize that what this man's body looked like is what our hearts look like without Jesus and without His kingdom. Our own social structures, our own classifications, our own sin, everything that's evil inside us, that's what it looks like. It looks leprous. But so Jesus says, I will be clean. But before He does that, it says He touched him. Actually, it says He stretched out His hand and touched him. Now, this was forbidden. This would be maybe comparable to someone hugging and kissing a COVID-19 patient now. You just don't do it. That's socially unacceptable. There are consequences to this. You may get it yourself. But Jesus stretched, it's like emphasizing. He stretched out His hand and touched him. It's like this dramatic moment. I just picture this in slow motion. What's He going to do? His love and power overcame sin and social taboos and social structures. Jesus breaks down that wall to show us there is no them. There are no outcasts in the kingdom. The only ones who are outcasts are the ones who want to be outcasts, because everyone is welcome. We who were on the inside were once outsiders. Now, Jesus' power is so great. He's not just limited to helping people themselves. He has power over nature, and he shows that his kingdom is in action, not just in our lives, but in the world itself. And we'll talk about that next time we Take 5. I'll see you then.